Hey everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, May 30th. We're intraday right now, and we're going to run through a handful of different stocks, some individual trade ideas, setups that we're watching for potential entries, and just general watch list candidates that I think may be interesting for your watch list as well. We got markets ripping today. We're not going to talk about the analysis here. If you watched yesterday's video on the YouTube channel or on the blog, you can find yesterday's analysis on the S&P 500. We did get that V-shaped reversal there, really kind of leaving in the dust all of yesterday's selling. So check out that video there. But that leads us to a good amount of stock selection today with lots of names moving to the upside, and we're going to run through them in this video now, half from our list and half from our partners over at Investors Business Daily. So first up here, name that I want to look at is the Biotech, just the index, the ETF itself. So IBB, this is the large cap NASDAQ Biotech weighting. And what you can see here is it's starting to emerge today above this nice high and tight consolidation. So remember, this rallied from the bottom end of this range, this $100 level that repeatedly had held as support. We screamed higher right into 110, which was the April highs here, moved sideways for about 2 weeks, and now we're trying to emerge here in today's session. So I like IBB, and it might be a new entry for us later here today. No position at this time. Next up, we got two railroad names. So CP is one. This is one where I think you really want to pay attention to this on like a weekly chart. And I think if you're a longer term position trader, or even just a longer term swing trader, we're seeing the clear breakout this week, particularly today. But this has been moving sideways for all of 2018, started in January right around this 185 level, based out, pulled all the way back to 170, and here we go, lifting out now and really starting to break to new year-to-date highs. So the railroad CP, I like it, and it is breaking out today. It's quite extended, but if that is going to propel it from this longer-term base, you could have some good fuel there. And right alongside of it, to continue with that railroad theme, is Union Pacific. So if we go to a weekly chart here, you can see this one very similar, although the breakout kind of got underway a little bit earlier here, but the same kind of setup. January or so, it came into the year at these highs. It pulled back from 140 down to 120, and then it recently emerged over the past couple of weeks, breaking to new year-to-date highs, and it's continuing this week. So a little bit ahead of the game here, a little bit ahead of CP, but Union Pacific still, again, nice and strong, breaking to new highs and out of this upper level consolidation. So both those railroad plays look interesting. Next up, we got BC here. So this one is Brunswick Corp. If we go to a weekly chart, again, kind of a longer term base breakout here, going all the way back to really 2017. If you go back to June of 2017, you can see we topped out right around $63 or so, and we spent most of the next year and a half or so consolidating gains, moving sideways, and then working back up and now breaking out to new highs here. So if we zoom out, Brunswick Corp is making new all-time highs. This is the monthly chart now, so you can see we are at all-time highs, breaking above all this prior structure. And again, maybe a longer term candidate, but still looks good here in the short term on this nice breakout. So those are four names that I'm watching from my watch list. Let's look at a few from IBD's leaderboard lists and top 50 list. The first is GRUB, which I know is getting some attention today, and deservedly so. It has been moving sideways here. It's been a strong performer ever since early this year, where we had this big just kind of march higher. It almost doubled in price from the lows here right around $67 all the way up to north of 110, and recently it's just been moving sideways. And what we see today is a nice almost 6% surge here to the upside, breaking above the prior several week highs here and really making a move back towards the all-time highs back in March. So I like GRUB. I like the expansion here. I'd like to see a little more volume come in today, but good, well-acting candidate with some fundamentals at its back as well. Next up on IBD's list is Jazz. So Biotech, if you remember at the top of this video, IBB was one of the sectors that I think is acting well and really kind of breaking out and emerging right now. And Jazz is a biotech name. So if you want to go individual, want to go to some of the components within the biotech sector, then Jazz is one you'd want to pay attention to. This is a weekly time frame, so what you can see here is we are starting to break above the structure back from 2017. We recently broke above this 163 level back in early May, and it is continuing higher today. We broke out on high volume, and you can see it is starting to emerge and continue this pattern to the upside. Good momentum there. 8 and 20 period moving averages are bullishly aligned and expanding, so getting some good move in Jazz, which is an IBD name. And then finally we have ZBRA. This is in the industrial sector here. You can see it hasn't quite made a definitive breakout yet, but it is getting nice and tight here. It has been consolidating right under these highs, so we are looking for a potential move here. Earnings are out of the way, so it did believe this was earnings day here back a few weeks ago, and what we can see now is that we have kind of worked off this gap up, this big gain from earnings, 12% day, really through time. Didn't give anything back with a pullback in price, just consolidated sideways through time, and now it's getting ready to potentially break out here over the coming days, one to pay attention to. So as I missed at the beginning of this video, do your own due diligence, do your own homework on these, check your earnings dates, make sure these names fit your strategy. Don't just run out and buy any of these. Make sure you are sort of executing on your own rules and strategy with what makes sense to you. And I think that's it. So hopefully you found these names helpful. Hopefully these are some good candidates for your watch list. Don't forget, we did partner up with IBD, so check out the link in the description of this video if you want access to their lists. Save yourself some time and get some of the curated stocks open and available for you every single week. So that is it for me. Thanks again for watching, and I will be back on Friday with the weekend stock market recap video.